push record while I'm in the mid-sentence. Thanks for doing that again, Dr. Parker.
You said push record in mid-sentence.
No, I didn't. I said you're going to because that's the kind of turd you are. What? I'm sorry. We're losing our Apple Clean rating.
Profanity.
You know what this needs?
Hello and welcome to Slice of Piper. I'm here with Taylor and Herlani. We are off onto another exciting week. Work is good. Lots of call. It's been busy, very busy. Lots of hip fractures. Mm-hmm. Lots of motorcycle trauma. Mm-hmm. Lots of foot trauma, interestingly enough, much to Taylor's chagrin. Mm-hmm. So yeah, the Lisfranc injury. I think I'm working on number 4 of those here in the recent past. That's crazy.
Yeah, don't love it.
Yep. Dropping heavy things on your foot, falling.
Yeah,
wrecking cars.
They're just tough. They're tough to recover from. I just always feel so bad for those patients.
And it's back to school time.
Yep.
First day of school for your monkeys today, right? Mm-hmm. Nice.
Yep.
First day of school for Caroline today.
Yeah.
Chrissy posted a little bit of heartbreaking crying in the hallway.
I know. I was really sad because one of my daughter's friends is now going there.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was so sad seeing her picture with, like, in the same school. And I was like, I'm going to look and see if Caroline's in the background of any of these pictures.
She
That'll
probably
be the
was.
only ray of sunshine about all this. Yeah.
Very true. But it's great. My oldest and second are in their junior and senior year of high school. Hard to believe. Yuck is correct. Yep. We're fighting over the car, fighting over where to go, having to think about other people and
navigate, communicate.
Driving, communication, because
giving them an opportunity to work on that. It is an opportunity.
And I'm going to let them.
Let them.
The book.
The book.
Thanks, Mel Robbins.
Thank you, Mel.
She says let them quite a lot in that book, especially if you're listening to it in audio.
I'm not. I'm actually reading it.
Nice. I have a copy. I think I had a copy for you. Chrissy might have actually given your copy to Caroline.
That's fine.
I
have it on Libby, so I'm reading it in my phone.
Nice. The free library. Very nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So school's back. Kids are crazy. Life is crazy.
Kids are crazy.
We're getting busy, which is good. We scheduled a ton of surgeries, which was awesome.
Been really proud of Axel over the weekend. He was playing a video game, and he stepped away. He said, "Mom, can you play the game for me?" I said, "Axel, I'm not good at this video game." He said, "Just try it anyway." And so he left me with the controller, and I was terrible. He came back. He said, "How's it going?" I said, "I died twice, Axel. I'm not doing well." He goes, "Mom, you just did your best. That's all I can ask of you."
That's nice. What was he? He was going to the bathroom or something?
Yeah, he was going to the bathroom where he didn't flush.
Yeah, one life lesson at a time. You did your best. Yes, flushing.
Yeah,
optional.
Mom, you did your best. Like, it was just so sweet, and I was like, oh, "Thanks, Axel." And then later, he told Dan this game, like, it's Halo. Sorry, my 5-year-old plays Halo.
It sounds like an angel game.
Sure. But you measure your success in how many kills you get.
This is a different type of angel.
So it's the stats at the end will display, and it'll tell you how many kills you had, how many people you killed, how many deaths you had, so how many times you died, and how many assists you had, or what you did assisted somebody else killing a member of the enemy team.
This sounds wholesome.
Axel was so proud. He's like, "Dad, I'm doing so well. 0 kills, 10 deaths, no assists."
So he's playing a game called Get Murdered.
Correct. And Dan was just like, wow. And he was so proud of himself. He's like, "Good job, son. Let's go put it on the Bluey video game."
That's good. That's good. Well, good for Axel. They were up here just this past week, partying like rock stars in the podcast studio.
Yep.
Yep. And living the dream.
Parenting at its finest.
I love it.
Kids come hang out at the workspace for just a little bit.
It's all good. Well, we're for today's topic, we have some interesting topics of conversation, but basically the big rules, and we've talked about the foundational rule multiple times, does seem like sometimes it's a little bit, maybe a little bit confusing to people, but it's interesting because for us being on the inside, when you talk about things like willing the good, I don't think of anything, but.
Yeah. Well, you say we've talked about the foundational rule. Why don't we, for those who are just tuning in, talk about what that means?
What does will the good mean? So,
well, the foundational rule for you is
to will the good of the other.
There you go.
Yes. Always will the good of the other. That is the foundation. That's the purpose. That's what we're here for. That's what we do in life, whether we're here at work or whether we're at home. And willing the good for me is, so it is not my definition. It is the definition of a love straight from Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas. Mm-hmm. Sweet Tom. Tommy, as I call him sometimes. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so to will the good, it's interesting because when you just write will the good, or if you put it in ChatGPT, it will ask you, what do you mean? Will the good what? Will the good persevere? Will the good triumph? Will the good whatever? And so I think that the confusion can be there. I think that the one thing that I've noticed, and I talked with some folks about it yesterday, is when you define love as willing the good of the other for the first time, if a person hears that definition for the first time and they've never really thought of it, right? Because all those things, love your neighbor, love your enemy, love your neighbor as yourself, you know, all of those different things only really make sense under that definition, right? You can't romantically love your neighbor. You can't love your neighbor like your neighbor is your son or daughter or dog or whatever else. But to will the good of the other, to will the good of your neighbor as you would will the good of yourself, most of the time when people hear that, a light bulb comes on and they say, oh, well, that makes all of those make sense. Yeah. And then that's what happened for me. Yeah.
So. Well, and again, another way to like reframe it, and way I often will tell patients, and I know you do too, is if you were my family member,
blank,
this is how I would want them treated. 100%. Right. And so like, would I treat my husband the same way that I would hope that random doctor who's taking care of my husband would? Sure. No, but I want to take care of my patients in the same way I hope that guy is taking care of my husband. Right. Like that's the level that I aim to strive for. So it's not a romantic or, you know, it's not in that way. I don't have to get, you know, super personal or you know, invasive in any way, but it's just, I hope that I'm doing my best to get them to where they want to be. Yep. That I'm doing what I can, doing my part to make sure that their day is better.
Right. It's kind of being a self-gift. It's sacrificing without expecting anything in return for the good of the other person.
But you do get something in return.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we talk about selfishly, it feels good to make other people feel good, right? It feels good to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
And at least inherently for me, it feels good to do good. It feels bad to not do good. If I don't live up to my own standard, my own value, I feel bad.
And it becomes an expectation, right? It becomes an expectation for you. It becomes an expectation for your team, right? If everybody in the room knows we're a team who always does the right thing, we will always strive to do the right thing. I think always, extreme words I always struggle with.
Right.
But yeah, I said always when I talked about always talking about extreme words. That's interesting. Anyway, long story short, really striving to do the right thing. When you view that and you say, I'm a person who does the right thing, even when things get delayed, even when things don't go the right way, even when things don't move in the optimum direction, even when things aren't moving down the road in the path that you want, whether it's your day. I mean, we had a day with 5 surgeries yesterday, 5 surgeries, 6 other consults, you know, I mean, and you're like, man, this is going to be a long, long day. But if we always do the right thing and we always will the good, then it's hard to envision a way that you end up losing.
Yeah. And again, if you're the person who's shorting it, you know, like I'm not going to go see these consults, or I'm going to punt them to somebody else who really shouldn't be the one having to deal with this or whatever else. If you're that guy, are you putting your head down? Are you sleeping well at night? Like, these are the questions I have.
Yeah.
Like, how does that not eat you alive? How do you not like just think, man, I did the wrong thing. Like, I didn't do my best. Right. And I mean, that's not a question I have to like put them down. It's more of a like, what is the difference there? And is it, again, a personality, you know, disorder, or is there, you know, trauma or mechanisms that have led to a place where that's okay?
Right.
And I've met people before who that is okay to them. The fact that they're sending something to a specialty that should not be dealing with this just because they don't want to.
Right. Yeah, I think that there's something to be said for that. I think there's something to be said for for viewing that level of service, that being a self-gift, right? And being giving of yourself for someone else, that makes a huge difference. That changes the way that you view that moment, right? Because to say that the temptation to say, oh gosh, I could give this to somebody else, I could deny this consult, I could decline to do this, is way different than the moment of saying, okay, I'm somebody who will always do the right thing. I'm going to do what's best for this patient. And these guys are consulting me because they need my expertise, right? Not in an arrogant way, but right, that's two totally different views, right? Because the view that, hey, somebody needs me. And I think one of my mentors in fellowship taught me this. He was like, I finally realized that when the ER calls me and wakes me up at night for something that I feel like they should already know, the reality is they're calling me because I'm the expert and they need me to do it. Mm-hmm. And that changed his perspective. And it, to me, I think helped change my perspective a little bit too, because there are those things where you like to say, hey, I really feel like you could do this. I feel like you could put this splint on. I feel like you could do this, that, or the other, whatever it is that you feel like someone else should be able to accomplish. But if you change your own perspective, which is the only perspective you have the power to change, right? If I change that perspective to say, okay, they need me, and I'm going to be somebody who does the right thing.
Right.
It's all good. So
yeah.
Cameron, he got to paint his parking space.
Lightning McQueen.
With Lightning McQueen that says one last lap or one final lap, I think, or something like that. Yeah. But the Lightning McQueen thing was, how'd you know you could do that? Mm-hmm. Right. Like, I never thought I couldn't. Mm-hmm. I just never thought I couldn't. Mm-hmm. I never thought I would be someone who would do the wrong thing. Right. And if you're tempted to do the wrong thing, then you just have to change that mentality.
Yeah. Well, and I have compassion for those people because I feel like it's just another form of burnout you almost see.
Right.
Like they feel like they've been abused, overworked, whatever, that no, this isn't mine. This responsibility is going to go to somebody else. And for some, it's not. For some people, it's just an arrogance. I'm above this.
True.
Or whatever else. But I truly feel bad for those people because they don't think that they're bad providers or bad physicians or anything else. It's that I feel like, again, that perspective has gotten like lost. Or again, that's just not the focus anymore.
And the hard part is when you have folks, and I mean, this may ruffle some feathers or at least make people maybe make a comment, but when you're at a high level, when you're a high level performer, when you're a high level leader, when you're a high level person, and you believe that someone's out to get you, right? You should be able to do better than this. You're just trying to make my life miserable. You're just trying. Well, what is that? That's just being a victim, right? And not even being a real victim, right? Mm-hmm. It's you making yourself the victim, right? There's real victims who get abused and get taken advantage of and who have things. Mm-hmm. So I'm not suggesting that there's no such thing as being a victim. I'm saying when you're in that moment and somebody's calling you at 2:00 in the morning to come in and, hey, can you look at this X-ray before I send this person out? And you're losing your cool with somebody on the phone because they're trying to make your life miserable and intentionally trying to keep you from being able to sleep. Well, really, you're just being a victim.
Yeah.
Quit being a victim.
Yeah.
Right? Well, suck it up, buttercup, and do your work.
You're being a victim and you're making yourself super important, right? This person is going out of their way to ruin my night.
Right.
Like, no. Like, if they're calling you, like, I've got nothing better to do in this busy ER.
Right.
No, that's not how it works. Right. If you've really burned some bridges, you know what you've done to earn that treatment, right? There's no, but otherwise it's just, you're not there to ruin your day.
Right. And I agree with that. And so I think, but all of that is an active perspective as the leader where you can make that choice. You can make the choice in that moment with the people you're around to say, this is how I'm going to treat people. And it's almost I like to be honest. It's crazy. People will be like, too pie in the sky, too optimistic. But like somebody cuts you off in traffic. You can let it ruin the next 5 minutes while you dog cuss them down the street. Mm-hmm. Or you can say something to yourself. Like, I've heard this multiple times. This is not me, but like maybe they're trying to get to the hospital. Maybe they're rushing someplace else. Maybe they have some reason that they need to be in front of me.
Right.
And then let it go.
Yeah,
And you're
absolutely.
like, whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, I saw something on social media the other day where it was he's a physical therapist that called an orthopedic surgery office to get an order from the PA just to make sure about wound care stuff,
Sure.
and that they just got absolutely berated by this PA, just like taken out to lunch, yelled at about how they were ruining, like they were bothering them, or they were like, and again, I was just like, man, I feel bad for that PA.
Right.
I mean, I feel bad for the physical therapist. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
You should never have to tolerate somebody talking to you that way. Especially, I mean, it's just ridiculous. But I also feel really bad for the PA because I'm like, man, where are you at in your world that you are actively like yelling and
Right.
beating down a physical therapist who's just confirming that we're all on the same page when it comes to patient care.
Right.
Right? I would rather them ask me 3 times than not ask me once, and it results in an adverse reaction,
Right,
or an
right.
adverse thing for the patient.
We've seen that too, right?
Right. So I felt bad because I'm like, man, that sounds like somebody who's just completely burnt out. And I'm not making excuses for them because you have to recognize that in yourself, and you have to take active steps
Right.
to get where you need to be.
And a lot of that, from what we've talked about many times, is purpose, right? It's figuring out what's my purpose, why am I here, what am I trying to do? Because once you lose sight of that, then everything becomes a burden. Once you lose sight of your purpose, everything is a burden. And once everything becomes a burden, then it doesn't matter, right? You'd be like, Taylor asked me to, close, hey, will you put up that piece of paperwork, right? And I was like, oh, I can't believe she would even take the time to, and like, you're going to be that victim? You're going to make everything a burden?
Right.
Come on.
Well,
and so,
yeah, there's the opposite flip of that coin too, which a lot of people, myself and I think you included in this, we don't want to be the burden either.
right.
So whereas the drawer's on your side and I could easily ask you to do it, no, I'll just get up and I'll go shut it myself.
Right.
Rather than ask you to do it because I don't want to be a burden. I'm depriving that person of the opportunity of doing something that they probably like, which is
Helping people. Yeah.
Right, helping people. It's funny. I saw a clip. I actually sent it to my husband because he always tells me that, like, you're so afraid of being a burden on people, and you need to be okay with accepting help and giving people the opportunity to help you.
Sure. Sure.
But it's a funny clip. It's like a cartoon, and it's like, so you're telling me that one of your love languages is acts of service, and that you like helping people? Yes. And I'm telling you that that's mine. Yes. But you won't let me do it because you think you're a burden. Absolutely. like
It's true. But I mean, I've met several folks, but actually the person who I've heard say it the most recently was actually David Meltzer, who basically said, like, asking someone for help is like giving them a gift, because most people want to help you. Most people want to do that, and by not asking somebody to help you, you're actually depriving them of some level of happiness that they could have to be able to help you.
Exactly.
And that piece, I mean, he harps on that, but I think that for me is actually very true, because, if somebody was like, hey, can you help me get this whatever in my backyard taken care of? I'd be like, yeah, let's go do it. And it'll take 10 minutes and we'll be done. And whatever,
Right. Well, and I 100% agree with him on that, because again, my husband also likes helping. And so he's like, when you are doing everything and you're not like asking for help for whatever reason it is, he's like, you're depriving me of the opportunity of doing something that I like to do, which is also help people.
Sure.
It is a gift for you to do that. Now, if it's ever something I don't, want to do, or if I can't, or I feel unqualified, like, you have to trust that I'm going to tell you that I'm going to be honest with you too, and say, just like with our situation with our children yesterday, which we don't need to go into on air, but he was like, look, if you leave me with these children to deal with this, I am unqualified and I'm going to be upset, and I will not do it to the satisfaction that you would want me to do this. So I get it, and again, he gave me a gift. He was honest, right? And telling me that. So yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Nothing a little mouse can't get taken care of.
Come on now.
Oh, Mises.
Don't do it.
I'm not doing it. I'm holding on. I'm holding steady. I've been there though.
you've dealt with mice?
Decontaminated my entire house because of all of the mice.
Those pesky little rodents.
Getting everybody's hair, and it's terrible.
Dang it.
It's mice. What are you talking about?
Mice live in hair.
Maybe.
Gross. I'm still
me too.
Thinking about the mice.
Me too. Just itching all over.
Yeah. Dang it,
it's
Mickey.
all good. Yeah, Mickey Mouse did it. I agree. No, I mean, I think it's interesting because one of the things I've been talking about trying to work on is trying to work on titling a book about leadership.
It's going to be just another boring book about leadership, huh?
It's going to be another boring book.
Yeah.
Who's going to want to read it? Anyway, long story
He
short.
sounded like Snape from Harry Potter.
I don't know who that is.
Harry Potter.
Yeah, that sounds a lot like somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Our new celebrity.
Nice. Still don't know what you're talking about.
Alan Rickman. You know who that is? Famous actor. Passed away from pancreatic cancer.
Yes, he's passed.
Yes.
God rest his soul.
Amen. He was Snape. He portrayed Snape in the Harry Potter movies that from back in the day. But that's exactly what you sounded like.
Well,
and I would be the resident expert on all things Harry Potter, so trust me.
Well played. Well played. But the question is, I'll give you some topics, and we'll see what you think.
Topics.
High stakes leadership titles. Some titles. High stakes leadership. Yay, nay. You can just do thumbs up, thumbs down.
If it's about steak the food.
Yes, perfect. What about lead like a surgeon?
Like a surgeon.
That's exactly what I thought too.
Cutting for the very first time. Weird Al would be real. You're going to get his lawyer right after you.
I literally did have that conversation with somebody yesterday. I was like, it reminds me of Weird Al's take on Madonna's Like a Virgin.
Like a surgeon, yeah.
The last one is Will the Good, which seems to be on brand for me.
I like it. But I'm also, I'm clearly unbiased.
You are very unbiased. You would never say anything.
Right.
Actually, I trust that you would tell me that. You're like,
if anything, it's the opposite.
That's real stupid.
If it was anything, it's the opposite. I would intentionally make something much more of a, like, oh, that's terrible. Painful. Yeah, of course. That's on brand for me.
Also true.
Somebody asked me the other day, they're like, you're really mean to him. They're like, how do you get away with that? I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, you're really mean to him. I'm like, that's just for the videos. It's an all an act.
It is not an act. She's very mean. Someone please send help.
Blink twice. Oh, Lord. See, I'm not mean. So rude.
She's just a little bit mean. I just cry a little bit at night.
That's what it's going to say on my epitaph. Taylor Hayden. She's just a little bit mean.
I want to thank everyone for coming to the funeral. We all knew her well, just a little bit mean.
Yeah, all of you who are scratching your heads knew her really well.
Yeah, those are my... If it's one, it's just a mouse. But if it's multiple, it's mice. You gotta boil the sheets.
For it to get rid of the mice. I don't know how I made it as long as I did without mice in our house.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we caught the mice infestation pretty early.
Yes. And the mice shampoo was probably good too.
Well, yeah, I nuked everybody, every surface, everything. Half of our house is in trash bags, getting quarantined to a room for the next couple of weeks to make sure the mice don't return.
I like it.
Yeah.
But that is part of also having little kids, too.
I know. And my kids go to daycare at times. They're in sports. They're in all kinds of things. And it happens.
It definitely does.
It happens. I know when I was younger in elementary school, definitely had a couple of mice episodes that came up. And with all the hair that I have for them to hide in, it was always a nightmare.
Yeah. Me too.
It's in your back hair.
So itchy. So itchy.
Yeah. So, anywho.
Back
to books.
Back to the book.
Yeah.
Back to books. Yeah. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. And then the other question, much like the podcast, who is this for? Who is the book for? And a book is supposed to be for leaders. It's not necessarily supposed to be for surgeons. I don't know that surgeons are going to go out in droves to buy the book. Interesting.
Yes.
So there's that. And then there's a lot of people, I think, inside of medicine who's, that's the question is, outside of medicine, I think that leading like a surgeon looks like leading with precision. It looks like
Dedication.
confidence. It looks like dedication. It looks like intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
I think inside of medicine, it's a little bit different. You might say you want to learn how to lead like a surgeon, and half of the folks who are medical specialists would be like, why would I ever want to do that?
Yeah,
and then
those
potentially
carpenters.
All of the nurses and everyone else would be like, is that really what we want? Is that how I want to lead? Anyway, it's very interesting. It's been a very a fun kind of thought project for me to try to figure out how do you want to do it, because I do think that there's a process that we get to do that people don't get to see.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When we actually go in and work, and when we do the pre-op plan, and we consent patients, and we take a timeout, like you're, to make sure that we're doing the right thing for the right person in the right spot, right? And then ultimately you got to make an incision, right? And then you got to approach your problem, and you've got to be able to protect everything that works while you go fix the thing that doesn't, and then you got to back your way out, and then you leave a scar, and then you got to recover.
Yeah.
Right? All of those, I think, are leadership qualities and problem-solving qualities that surgeons that parallel leadership life. And so I think that surgical side of it is very interesting. I think the challenge is,
I think the thing that surgeons could learn from it is you're a very technically skilled surgeon, but you're also a great person. And those two things sometimes get segregated. I think sometimes
right. They don't have to be
the stereotype
exclusive.
The stereotype of a surgeon is what? A good surgeon is what? I mean, I don't know how many times in my career I've heard, oh, well, this guy's got a great bedside manner, but you don't want to go to him for surgery.
Right.
You want to go to this guy who's a jerk, but is a technically very good surgeon. And so there's this shift, at least, and again, I'm coming from my biased perspective, but even when I was in PA school, basically we were discouraged from considering working with surgeons because they're hard to work for.
Right.
Because they can have pretty, stereotype is they're abrasive personality types.
Right.
They're demanding. They're, short-tempered, short-fused. And so if you fall into that category of person who's been kind of labeled that way, or you have found yourself going in patterns that way, I think those people, those surgeons might benefit from reading your book.
Right.
Because you're very much not that. Like it's, and I wouldn't say it's a rare incidence that a surgeon can be both a really great doctor and a great surgeon and a really great person. You definitely have that. And so people who are trying to navigate going toward that path, I think they would benefit from it. So I think the people in medical field would like to read your book.
Yeah. And I think
the problem is those people don't necessarily want to, not all of them have the personality type where they're going to want to change.
True. But I think that the other question is there value in changing?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you were like, well, maybe, but maybe not, but probably yes. Because the reason that I say that is when you see things like that, when you think about the hair in the towel that we talked about last time, right? Like if the environment is not good enough and she has something that's unsterile going into my patient, our patient, I shouldn't say into the patient, then that ultimately undercuts the ability to will the good. It undercuts everything. And if that patient gets an infection and has a bad outcome and is writing negative reviews about you and is disappointed because your quality stinks, and all of that goes back to just what I needed to do was establish an environment where my team felt comfortable to talk to me and tell me something. Well, that's a big deal. And that means that I think there are measurable ways that you could say, okay, reestablishing this environment so it's not miserable. So it's not a pain-filled environment. It's not a fear-filled environment. It's in fact an environment where we're going to will the good, where genuine gratitude, genuine humility, right? Being genuinely grateful for the fact that you're there, that you get the opportunity. Like I got to do 5 joint replacements yesterday.
Yeah,
That was pretty cool. Right.
Yeah, well, and I think that's one way that, like, again, somebody might want to end up like changing, and they might benefit from reading this. But I also an example that comes to mind is this was a well-respected surgeon, but was known notoriously as being hard to work with, hard to work for, and honestly, patients didn't like dealing with this person either.
Sure.
And a major life event happened, that shifted everything for them. They had been a surgeon for 15 plus years at that point.
Sure.
And a tragedy happened that changed their purpose.
Right.
All of a sudden there was a, this big life shift where they realized that their priorities had strayed from what they wanted to be and that they weren't the person that they wanted to be in the community, in their practice, everything. And that's the other kind of person I could see benefiting from this. Somebody who's maybe got systems and practices that are in place that have worked well from them for a certain period of time, but now they're realizing that their purpose has shifted.
Right.
And that person is a lot more, just from having known them most of my life, happier demeanor, more people want to be in that person's OR, like happy to work with them. Like with somebody, I would have told you there's no way ever that I would work with or for that person. And now I'd be like, yeah, get along with them just fine. Like, but that evolution of becoming a better person has taken them a lot longer time.
Sure.
And that something like that would be helpful for someone on that journey.
Right. And you don't want it to have to be that life-changing event, right? That helps you to realize that I'm actually miserable throughout the day.
And I think this person would say that too. And actually, not only do I think they would, they have. I've heard that. And I was just thinking like, man, I wish this could have been them 15 years ago.
Right.
Right?
Right. I hear that. Yeah, we say that a lot. We say that a lot in the clinic. I don't know when your last day is coming. So, if this pain is making your life so miserable that it's dominating, that everything is going on, even if you're younger than we would normally think of for a joint replacement, even if you're not, we don't know. And you don't want to you can't take life for granted. There's too much great stuff and it goes by so fast.
Right.
So fast. And that's super cliche, but it is like, holy moly, you know, I got 5 years and all my kids will be out of the house. Yeah. And that's nuts. And 5 years from now, you will have one who's 5 years away from being out of the house, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Your oldest 8?
She's about to be 9.
Yeah. But, not your oldest. Yeah. But he's going to be out of the house before that in 4 years.
Yeah. Yep. He starts driving this year.
That's crazy. Nuts.
Yeah. Well, and that's, again, when you start thinking in those terms, it just changes everything. I've always been a person of efficiency and so busy. And like yesterday, while we were dealing with the mice, I was doing all the things and was kind of in between stuff. And one of my kids came up and said, "Can you color with me?" And normally I would say, "No, I'm too busy." Right?
Yep.
But what did I do? I grabbed a coloring book and we sat down and we colored at the coffee table. And my other 2 kids came and then sat down as well. Yeah. All of us with our mice shampoo on and sat and colored together and like hung out for
mice shampoo
for 30 minutes, right. And it was a little thing, but this is something that they'll remember. And, they were asking me, why do you color that way? How do you do that?
How do they say the word crayon?
Crayon.
All of them the same. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Have you heard all of the other pronunciations?
Crown.
I have one kid who calls it a crown.
Yeah.
I have another kid who calls it a crayon.
No crayon.
I have another kid who calls it a crayon.
Yeah. We all say crayon.
Yeah. That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you call the red little lobster things that you get from the ground that some people eat, like in Cajun restaurants?
Crawfish?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you call them crawfish, not crayfish.
Crayfish or mud bugs or something like that?
Well, mud bugs would be like a slang term. That I wouldn't bat an eye at. But crawdads.
Crawdad is very common, yes.
But crayfish, that sounds Yankee.
Yeah, that does sound. You can take your crayfish right back up to
I told you about
Great White North.
When Dan discovered one in our yard.
No.
Did I tell you about this? So this is a long time ago now. Like he had been in Texas for less than a year at that point.
Sure.
And he comes inside. He says, "I have a new pet." I was like, "What?" He says, "A yard lobster." I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, it just popped out of a hole. It's about this big." I was like, "Talking about a crawfish?" And he was like, "I don't know." And so we go outside and it's a crawfish. He's like, "It's a yard lobster."
Nice. See?
He's like, "Why are they here?" I'm like, "We're at like we're at water level here, dude." And he's like, "Oh, yuck."
There's no crawfish in South Dakota.
Yeah, well,
Very
they're freshwater ones, but like they're not just
Right.
chilling in holes in your ditch.
All right. So your vote is surgical techniques from a mouse. That's the title.
Perfect.
Boiling sheets the mouse way.
Yep. Something like that.
Do you have head mice? Because we have mouse shampoo.
Reticulosis.
Very nice. Well, to everyone, thanks for listening to our banter about head lice.
If y'all could stop listening, then maybe he would make us stop doing this podcast, actually. So
Rude.
Tune out.
Nobody has ever. We have triple digits. All right, so it's too bad for you. Yep.
I just lost one with the fart noise.
Wait till we go to quadruple digits. Not to mention that you talked about Harry Potter, so there's probably at least 10 more people who are going to join.
Harry Potter, the boy who lived, come to die. That was not Snape.
I don't know who that was.
He who shall not be named. Voldemort.
You named
Tom
him?
Riddle.
Don't know him. He's the one who has a weird face on his back of his head.
No. You're talking about Quirrell, who has Lord Voldemort on the back of his head. When he's still just kind of a leech. He's coming back from Horcrux.
This sounds a lot nerdy to me.
Says you.
It's true.
Like you're not a nerd.
It takes one to know one.
Yes. I've never shied away from the fact that I'm a nerd.
Agreed.
I've quoted Weird Al Yankovic while we've been on this podcast.
But interesting that was the first thing that you said.
What?
Like a surgeon.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
100%. Got to play the music.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to play it off. Have a great day, guys. Have a wonderful week. Will the Good Wednesday.
Will the Good
Maybe
Wednesday.
that's the name of the book.
Will the Good Wednesday.
Only on Wednesdays.
No
the other days. 6 days a week.
Turned up Thursday.
6 days a week. We don't care about anybody else.
F around Friday.
F around Friday? She says turd and F in the same podcast.
You knew what you were getting when you had me on here.
She's
I'm going to
falling
get
to
more
pieces.
unhinged as time goes on.
Falling to pieces here.
I fall to pieces.
It's probably the head mice.
Yeah, that's going to my head.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Oh, there it is, the stink eye.
Stink Eye Saturday.